Hi, Gary. It's Uncle Extra Medium again. It must be Thursday night. Time for another episode of the Hour Before TNL.
Are you plain bored of woodworking? Get excited again with Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit. Fisheye's Sandpaper Kit comes with everything you see here. Just pick your paper, spread the glue, and shake on the sand. Voila! Beautiful handcrafted sandpaper. And if you act now, we'll include candy sprinkles absolutely free. What better way to say I love you than with a gift of sandpaper? Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit is just $19.99 wherever crappy gifts are sold.
Well, hi, everybody. It's episode 57 of the Hour Before Thursday Night Live. It's December the 8th, 2022. And tonight we have a treat especial, a special guest all the way from Florida. And if you looked at the community post or looked at the thumbnail, you already know who we got. Anyway, without further ado, here's my co-host, Mr. Jim Boshart.
Once
How
again,
you doing? How are you doing there, Jim?
Doing well, Gary. It was a little sleepy day today, pretty wasted. Got nothing accomplished, but enough of my babbling. Let's get to our guest.
Okay.
His stories.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Dono.
What's good?
Hey, we get right into it, eh?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
How are you doing, Ken?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. We missed your stream this week. Everything okay?
Yeah, my mom, she had a heart attack. Yeah, like I was funny because, well, it's not funny because I was literally talking to her the hour before, sort of like we're doing the stream the hour before, and then like an hour later, she had a heart attack. So It was pretty crazy. So it's been a stressful week. So that's why I took the day off.
Yeah, good. That's good.
Hope things go well.
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's yeah, because we weren't sure if we were coming tonight.
Yeah. I've been. It's to say the least, it's been pretty crazy the past couple days. My my business partner, he's away, so he's technically he doesn't live in California, but he bought property, so he took the whole month off, and it's been chaotic to say the least, wearing multiple hats, trying to get everything done. So not a lot of sleep. So if I look like shit, that's probably why. But
Who would know the difference?
right, exactly, right. A couple of beers later, who knows? So
Yeah,
trying to get it done.
Yeah, good stuff. Good. So your business partner, this is the drone business or not the Etsy business?
It's our Etsy business. But now, obviously, like right now is like prime retail time, like holiday season. It's just like full steam ahead. So it's been crazy. So not having the extra printers, not having the extra person, to ship, it definitely hits hard. So we're doing what we can though.
So your Etsy business is all just 3D printed stuff, or
pretty much just 3D printed. We do some stickers and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's all 3D printed, all handmade stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. How many 3D printers do you run?
Right now, 22 right now.
Oh,
yeah,
Life is good.
Yeah, they stay chugging along for the most part. It's funny, like he's got 10 or 11 printers out there in California, so it's like even when those aren't running, it's like it affects me, like it slows everything down. So pretty crazy.
It's a factory you got running there.
A little bit. It's always weird when people like maintenance guys come into the studio. They're like, oh, we got to fix, and they're like, what the hell is all this? I'm just waiting for one of them to be like, wait a second, what are you doing here? I'm waiting. I'm on borrowed time, I think.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah. I went to work today went to where I retired from work today.
Okay.
For the first time in 6 years. Now, when I worked there, we had 150 people.
Oh wow.
In the factory that I worked in. And I ran the afternoon shift. And I went in today and they're down to 6 people.
That's just crazy. But you're seeing that a lot across the board. Like, everybody had all these, all this help, and then they just cut everybody. It seems.
Yeah.
Amazon did the same thing. It looks like.
Yeah, they moved all our manufacturing back to their head office in the States. So
okay.
So it all moved back down, and then so now all they do is their nuclear work, all the really important stuff they do in Canada.
Gotcha.
With 6 people, it was nuts. And then I show up and I haven't been there in 6 years, and it's like, Gary, the whole place shut down.
Well, it's 6 people. I mean, I'm sure it was pretty hard for them to all, but it's crazy. It's crazy that 6 people can do more work than an entire factory of us over here in the States. That's pretty damn good, man. So how many Canadians does it take to screw in a light bulb then?
We don't know. It's still dark. It's still dark here. Oh man.
We just go clap on.
Oh, is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's funny.
I got a whole bunch of notes, and I'm not following any of them.
Okay.
So you're
no, not yet.
Not yet. Oh man, I've got all these triggers for you, and I'm
okay.
because you are a role model for all of us.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I remember seeing you going off on somebody on your stream who said,
I think I bought a shirt or something to that effect.
Oh, good stuff.
Can't quite recall.
Yeah,
Gary,
the poster that Scott made from.
Yeah, am I actually on that?
You're on it. You're the only one in color, right up here.
Yeah, but was I actually on the poster to get from the get-go? I couldn't find myself.
You were on the poster, right up at the very top left.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Right? So what I do is I put your picture up there in color while you're on, and then after the stream's over, this thing goes away for the rest of the week, and it's everybody that's ever been on, and you're right. You're the
This
last
looks like a
one
crime
here.
scene or something. This looks like a fucking hit list or something.
It's the mail post office.
That's what it looks like.
Canada's
Oh,
most
shit.
wanted. RTMP's most wanted.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Why don't you stay down there, Ken?
Oh,
It-
man.
it's the wall of fame. It's not a shame. It's the wall of fame. You know.
As long as I'm not doing a walk of shame after this, I'm good.
It's all good. Now you had talked about having members only live streams too. Eh? Is that taken off or?
No, I hadn't done shit yet because I've got to set them up. I want to do it to where it's not like a show. It's more or less a hangout, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to transition to using the Google Meets, because like Google Meets, you can have like 50 to 100 people in those little things, which is going to be chaotic, but I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we have one guest at a time.
Yeah.
Is because we want the community to get to know Ken Dono a little better.
Okay.
Right. What happens when you get 8 people on a panel is everybody's talking at the same time and you can't hear anybody.
Yeah. That's always a challenge.
Yeah.
That's why I just have Eddie on my panel, and he doesn't talk at all.
How did your relationship start with Eddie, your co-host?
Well, it started over dinner, and then it was a long walk on the beach in Manhattan, and I think he gave me a reach around. No, I met Eddie. It's funny. There's this group called 5 Boroughs. It's a Facebook group, and Eddie lived in New York, and like somehow I got added to this group, even though I lived in Florida. But I had, some times where we would go up there. Billy and I would go over to the New York area, and they would show us where to fly. So I met Eddie, and it was just by chance. Him and I started talking. The Billy and I and Eddie started talking. We just became really good friends. And I was like, you know what? After I fired Paul, I was like, you know what? You're it, man. You're it. Because it's really hard to find people that could put up with me just in general. But Eddie's it. Eddie's it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you've had a long time relationship with Billy Kyle as well. Are you guys starting that thing back up again, or?
We want to, but both of us are just so busy. Like beyond YouTube, we have our real estate businesses and other things that are happening. So it's like for us to sit down and like, I got to tell you, just trying to sit down and film anything lately is just like, I look at my desk behind me and it's just covered in shit. Like you got to take everything apart. You got to set it up. There's a lot that goes into it. So anything we can do to speed things up or make things quicker, we will do it. We're probably going to pick it back up maybe at CES, because we're both going to be in Las Vegas at the same time. And I think it's a good way to like start the new year.
Well,
just
you
like
can
go.
Yeah, you can do something live together from CES.
Yeah, we'll do something live, but we're gonna try to do like we have a second channel that we share, but we just haven't posted anything in like over a year and a half now.
Yeah. Oh, I forget what the channel was called.
It was Flight Time is what it was called.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a subscriber. I'm a subscriber, and the bell's rung, and I never get an alert.
Yeah, and that bell, you probably that bell will be rung for a long time before it ever, shit ever hits the fan over there. We're trying. I gotta tell you, it's hard. Like when I first started this, I thought it was going to be easy just to, create some content, post some videos, but it's like, the more you start doing, the more complex it gets and the harder it gets.
Yeah.
And you really just run out of time. I was saying to my wife today, I said, I just don't know where my time goes anymore. Like, and
Wow,
she's like,
you talk to your wife?
yeah. Well, periodically.
Not on a live stream. You don't talk to her through the live
God,
stream.
I don't think she'd ever get on one with me. She doesn't trust me to come on the stream because she's afraid of what I'll ask. So, I mean,
just not answer you.
Yeah, well, she could, but she's a terrible poker player. Everybody'd see right through her shit. So, but yeah, it's funny. She's never been on one of my streams. She's never come on the channel. I got to change that. I got to get her to go on one. just because she hasn't. So that's
Yeah.
my goal for 2023.
Oh, my wife would not go on. We're going to the South Florida drone meetup, and
Oh,
she
are
said,
you?
well, she said, "Well, I'll drop you off. You know, I'm not sticking around to meet those guys." You know,
Those.
but then I'm watching Herman and Lawrence. She says, "I want to meet those guys." So,
Well, she's got to stick around then.
yeah, I know, but
I mean, I didn't make it last year to the South Florida drone meetup. It was just chaotic once again. But this year, I'm definitely gonna make it a point to make it down there and go to the meetup at least.
yeah, well,
It's
looks like
it's close enough. It should be a good meetup.
yeah, no, it looks like a great time, you know, and
Imagine having a beer with Ken Dono. Wow. There's a bucket lister.
there you go. Yeah.
Boshart, you coming down, Boshart?
Well, you just notched it up a couple more percentages to the positive side. If you're going, I'm going to go. Yeah.
I mean, will they even let you in America?
Well, I might not be. I won't be leaving. I'll tell you. They might have to throw me in jail.
Well, you know what? I took my trust test. I registered my drone with the FAA.
Okay.
You know, so I've got all my ducks in a row. I'm an advanced pilot in Canada, so we're all good. Now, here's the thing. In Canada, okay, like weed is legal countrywide.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are 8 hours bottle to throttle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We're 12 hours.
Okay.
How long do you have to wait after using weed before you can fly?
In Canada or America?
Well, how is it in America?
Well, it's still 8 hours, I would imagine. Bottle to fucking, what do they call, a little pipe? I don't know. I guess I don't know, because the way the test goes, you're really technically not supposed to partake in, well, I'm going to use air quotes, drugs. But I would guess that it's probably very similar. But then again, if they drug tested you after smoking weed, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah. In Canada, weed to fly is 28 days.
Really? 28 days?
28 days. So here's the thing.
It's harsh up here.
I don't fly in the winter. I can't take the cold on my hands, so I don't fly in the winter. Okay.
So you smoke in the winter.
That's what I figure. I'm going to be baked until the 1st of March.
Good for you, man.
So that then I can go to Florida, get it out of my system, and be ready to fly legally as a Canadian, you know.
Now, whereabouts in Canada are you?
By Toronto.
Oh, he's by Toronto. Okay.
Yeah, Eastern Canada. So I'm right. I'm about an hour, maybe an hour and a bit to Niagara Falls, New York.
Okay.
And about 30 minutes to Lake Erie. I can see Erie, Pennsylvania from there. So
wow.
Well, for my drone, I can see Erie, Pennsylvania from there.
Okay, I was gonna say you got pretty good friggin' vision.
You know, but yeah, you can see it right across the lake. I used to work at a refinery, and I'd go climb up the big tower, and you could see Erie from the top of the tower. So
nice.
Yeah. So we're in Eastern Canada, and you know, it gets cold and miserable. It's not as bad as Buffalo. You don't want to be in Buffalo.
Yeah, I see. I'm seeing that they got absolutely hammered this year.
They got 77 inches of snow. You know, I'm looking at bare grass.
Yeah, I can't deal with the cold weather like that. That's why I live here in Florida. Cold weather and me just don't mix very well. I'm a warm weather animal.
Yeah.
Are you from Florida, Ken?
No, actually, it's funny enough. I'm from Long Island, New York. But I've been down here so long, I might as well just be a Floridian, I guess. So, but yeah, I've been down here for 30 plus years now.
Wow. No kidding, eh? Wow. Yeah. That's like your whole life.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't remember. I'm glad I don't remember the early days, because that was the womb. But you know, yeah. So I've been down here.
Good stuff. I've been here all my life. This particular house we moved into 30 years ago.
Okay.
And in rural Canada, like I'm out on a farm. In rural Canada, you know, you say, where do you live? And I say, oh yeah, the first house south of the 10th concession there. And they go, oh yeah, the Bella's place. So I'm still a newcomer, 30 years in, and you know, it's
that's so crazy that's how you guys talk about like where you live that's very different than here, obviously.
Well, and the way we give directions here is different too.
Oh yeah.
You asked for direct.
Yeah. How would you give me directions?
Okay, Ken, you go down this road and you turn right where the church used to be.
Okay.
Okay, and then you go down that road, and your destination will be on your left about 3 miles before the end of the road.
You got GPS up there? Or does that not work? I mean, Jesus Christ.
It only works on your drone.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
You know,
That's
but
pretty,
that's the way the
wild.
farmers will tell you, you know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would be freaking lost in a heartbeat up there. Just from the sounds of it, I would be freaking lost.
Yeah. Well, you know, people say, where do you live? I say, right, you know where the poultry place used to be? I'm right across the road. Oh, you're in the Bella's place. Yeah.
I live in a bigger city. We actually have street signs, Gary.
Boshart, where are you at? Ontario?
Yeah, I'm 10 minutes out of Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah. Boshart and I are flying buddies. We've met up, what, 3 times now, Jim?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We have the Southern Ontario drone meetup. We had 2 of us the first time, 4 of us the second time, and 3 of us the third time.
That's a good turnout.
Yeah, not bad.
That's almost enough to shut down a factory.
Yeah. Oh no,
we call them all friends.
Yes.
From the drone family. Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got Apex Photography, that fabulous looking Jeep with the big graphics on the side.
Yeah.
How's that business? You're
That's, you know, it's funny as we're sitting here talking, I'm sort of going through editing video that we shot today for a client. That's, you know, surprisingly, I miscalculated how busy it was going to be for this year or for this time of year. Usually, like historically during the winter time, it's slow because nobody wants to film their house or do things like while it's, you know, Christmas, because all their ornaments are up. And well, that's not the case this year because it's been like balls to the wall, which is a good thing, but it also means I don't really get a break from it. And I utilize this time of year to sort of like do paperwork and get shit done for next year. So it's been interesting, but it's been very, very busy, even with interest rates being so high.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, our real estate prices are down here.
Are they really?
Yeah, about 18% in November, apparently.
Wow.
You know, so
see a sign where a house sold above asking. It's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see those as often as we used to. Like when the market, like, I mean, it was crazy. Like for a while, the prices were just out of control, and people were just putting any price and selling anything all willy-nilly. And the problem with that is it creates like this false market. And that's sort of what we had to, you know, what we have right now. We have this market that's not really real. We're still dealing with the fallout from it. And, you know, it just created a lot of problems here. And not only that, it creates problems for people that are looking to move here, or if they want to rent a house or whatever it is. So there's a lot of issues with that we're still dealing with. So I'm hoping that the market sort of starts, you know, stabilizing, you know, closer towards, you know, like March or so of next year. I think that's when we'll start seeing it sort of level off a bit. Right now, it's still so jacked up from everything.
Yeah. I stopped doing real estate. I just got tired of them telling me what to do and when and all that stuff. And I just decided, you know,
it's frustrating. Trust me. I was telling my wife, you know, I quit my job to work for myself, and I don't want to, you know, I don't like taking orders from people. And, you know, well, you couldn't tell, could you?
No.
And you know, I'm still having to listen, you know, people tell you how things should be or how they want it. I'm like, I'm just not very good with authority, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no, never have been.
And I didn't like having to chase after them for the money afterwards,
Yeah.
or them saying, well, can you shoot that again? I want to see this, or, I said, no.
Well,
no,
my rule on reshoots is if you ask me again to shoot it, you're going to shoot it yourself.
Yeah.
I'll give you the equipment and I'll charge you a very reasonable fee to rent my equipment and do it yourself if you know more than me.
Yeah.
When I was a mechanic, I used to tell people if you want to watch, it's extra. If you want to tell me what I need to do, it's extra. So usually customers shut up and stayed outside the shop bays, and life was grand. But every once in a while you get this customer they just thought they knew more than you, and they would want to be right up your ass, the entire time. So
yeah. Well, I had a customer call, and I've told this story on this stream before. And he called, and he had an account that's in arrears,
okay,
for a year, and I didn't chase him for it. If you don't pay me, you don't pay me.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not chasing.
You're not going to go after him for it.
No. So he called and he said, I need this property shot. It's a commercial shoot and blah blah blah. He said, how much? I said $1,000. He goes, oh, you can do better than that. I said, yeah, 1,500. He said, you're going the wrong way. I said, go fuck yourself. I don't want to work for you.
Yeah. So I had a client. This was recent too. This was like super, super recent. They, this client, every time I would do a video or do anything, she would want to correct my style, and she would want to, give me her unwanted 2 cents on how I was doing things. And this was over the course of almost 2 years of working with this client. So I finished up a video, and this was a private flip for her, and she didn't pay me for like 4 weeks. And I'm like, and every day I would send her reminders to pay her bill, and she wouldn't pay the bill. So finally I texted her and I said, hey, I got to get this bill squared away. We're coming up to month end. I want to try to get everything done. If somebody owes me something, I am worse than a bill collector, because I will go for the jugular on somebody. If you steal from me or you owe me something, I will go through the jugular. And finally I said, you know what? Easiest way to get her attention, I just started tacking on a late fee every day, $25. Eventually she paid it. And we never actually talked about it, but we just parted ways. And it's just funny, but I don't like people like that. I can't deal with shit like that.
No,
Pisses me
no.
off.
Well, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. You work for 2 reasons: to make a living and have fun, right?
Exactly.
So if you're making a living and it's no fun, life's too short, right? And if you're having fun and not making a living, you got a hobby. That's me. I got a hobby.
Yeah.
And I fly when I want to, and don't the rest of the time.
You tell all those stories, and I look back at how many years I spent as an actual debt collector. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
It sucks because nobody wants to deal with debt. Obviously, it's stressful. It adds unnecessary stress. It's not a fun thing. It's not a fun thing to have to take care of. But I think most debt companies get it wrong. They don't offer an olive branch to try to I think if they approach it like that, like some sort of solution of some sort, maybe they'll get better traction. But we had for a long time, we had debt collectors that would they would chase debt from like 8-9 years ago. Statute of limitations here in Florida is like 7 years.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was 18, I blew through shit. I did some stupid shit. And and then it's like they would call me and I'm like, wait a second, why am I talking to you? We're 12 years later. Go fuck off.
What I used to do is I used to try and deal with government up here. And you do a government deal, and what you do with government is you allow them a 1% discount net 10 days.
Really?
And by law, federal, provincial, and municipal governments in Ontario have to take that discount.
Okay.
So when you give them 1%, that's nothing, right? But by law, they have to pay you within 10 days in order to get the discount.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's weird here. Like, it's so weird. Like, I've had I've had stupid shit like from way back when, like where it's the weirdest thing. Depending on what lawyer you get, you can get a lawyer and then they'll go after a debt collector and then they make the debt collector pay them. Like, how does this work? How do I get involved with that end of the things? I want to be on that end of the hustle. It's just like, it's crazy. I never understood it. And it's like, but I mean, I can see why, people get stressed out over shit because, the economy is all, everything's fucked up. Everything.
Yeah. Do you have a drone retail business as well?
I do. We do have a drone retail business. It's DroneWorks. It's more of a, it's so funny. Like I joke around with my my partner's brother-in-law because he always says, "You guys run this business like it's a fucking hobby." Because he's like, because you don't like stock shelves normally. He goes, you stock things, like in spurts or he goes, you got shit all over the place. He goes, your accounting's terrible. I'm like, well, yeah, it is a hobby. We never went down this path for it to be successful. We just went down this path to get discounts. That's how we have it. And so, I mean, but we do get stuff early. I mean, we've developed good relationships with our vendors to be able to get things somewhat early. I mean, it's hard. How do you compete with Amazon? Like, how the fuck do you compete with China half the time? Like, I mean, like, it's so hard to compete with these assholes. I mean, when they're retailing things so effing cheap, it stomps out. Like, I didn't get it. I never got it until I became a small business. Like how detrimental Amazon was to small businesses. Cause it's not even fair. It's not even fair. No. There's no chance. So, now like any chance I can support one of my friends or somebody who has a small business, I do it because it's a different experience. But with Amazon, like you can't beat that. You can't beat the price. It's hard, man.
Yeah. Now DroneWorks has a website.
Yeah, it's a website. It's drone-works.com. Yeah. So we got a warehouse and everything.
So everybody in the chat, if you're looking for a drone, it's droneworks.com with a dash in between drone and works, and support small business because Ken doesn't have enough to do.
Well, luckily I let Zach handles most of that. I just handle marketing, the website, and that's sort of where I'm at. I'll get involved if if something's stupid, like, because problem is like when you have two assholes running a company, customer service, we know everybody that buys we know everybody. So it's not like we don't have customers. We have friends that buy from us. So it's not like, the average Joe's going to, stumble across us and buy. So like I always joke with them. I said, customer service ends when you pick up the phone, Zach, because it's like, because he's typical, super short, always in a rush, billion things to do. So it's like,
it's like parenting ended at conception.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So you get product early.
Yeah.
Right. How do you handle that NDA? How do people pressure you for information?
Oh, all the time. And I just, you got to sit there and smile and just be like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, even people I know, like, unless I know they have something, unless I know that the person I'm talking to is also under the same NDA, like we share notes. But like when we had the O3 air units, I didn't know who had it. When we had the Avata, I knew Billy had it because him and I were working on that together. So, but you don't know. So it's sort of boring actually for like 4 months. You got this amazing product and you got to sit on your hands. You can't say anything. You can't say anything because then you're out of the next round of shit. So you just never know who has what. I mean, I like the fun of it. Like when it drops, I don't like shit getting ruined by leaks. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Because we haven't seen the leaks yet on the Air 3, but you've already got it and you're flying it, right?
No, I have nothing on the Air 3.
Oh yeah. Okay. There we go. Oh, nicely done.
I have nothing on that.
You didn't hear it. You didn't hear it first here.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. You know what? I've got an Air 2S. It's my second one.
Yeah.
And I love it.
You can't fly all this shit. You know what I mean? It's like, how many freaking drones do we really need? I had the Mavic 3 and I've been so happy with it. Like, that's all I really fly. I don't really use anything else like daily. Like today I use that, and I charge the batteries up, have 3 batteries last me all day. I mean, it's fantastic for a GPS drone, but like when it comes to like FPV shit, I'm getting to the point where I hate building stuff, but I mean, it's nice to build though. I just started flying again. For a while I didn't have time, but I'm forcing myself at least 4 packs a day, every single day, go back to it just to not for anything else, but just for fun, just for myself. To stay stick loose, I guess the best way to put it.
Yeah, well, stick time helps everything. I mean, I've started flying my Air 2S like it was a Cinewhoop. I'm under trees and just sort of playing it. Well, and it's the first time I've had Care Refresh.
Okay,
right. I didn't have Care Refresh on the other one, and it was stolen.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Oh no, what sucks is that I had like 30 flights of vacation stuff all on coasts and lighthouses and waves and all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah, that's a bummer when something like that happens. It's just a bummer to see. I mean, I always get nervous like when I travel, like if my son, like I forgot what airline I was on, but they wouldn't let me bring my drone on the plane. They wouldn't let me bring my drone like actually physically on the plane, and I'm arguing with the guy that the battery. So finally they let me take the batteries, but I thought for sure, I'm like, oh yeah, this goodbye drone. I'll never see this again, because I really thought like if they wanted it, they would take it and it was going to be gone. But luckily enough, the drone made it on the plane and I got it back when I landed in Tampa, but that was a really weird situation.
Yeah, I'd say.
So, but I always get nervous traveling, like shit's going to go missing eventually.
Yeah. Wow. What you got coming up? Anything?
I'm probably going to, I'll fly, not really any travel until January. So January we have CES. We'll be in Las Vegas for that. I really don't know what is going to be releasing as far as that goes. It's been a quiet year. I suspect Altel will probably have something. DJI typically does not utilize CES for drone releases. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll just bring shit that they've already released throughout the year to CES. So I really don't suspect that we're going to see anything, really all that new from DJI at CES.
We'll wait for the leaks in January.
Yeah, there may be some leaks, but I just don't see anything being brought into the fold. And I only say that because usually you would hear it by now, and we haven't heard anything. And that's usually a prime indicator that there just isn't anything new, arriving, I guess.
Yeah. Didn't they have a release yesterday? Was that what was that? Was that the Action 3 or something?
I think that was firmware or something for the Action 3, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. Just a firmware.
Yeah, I think it was just firmware update for the Action 3.
Yeah.
So nothing crazy.
And then you had the great firmware update for the Avata today too, eh?
The Avata did get a firmware update, yeah. And that's a lot of people. I think a lot of people were looking for that update, but in the same token, I think a lot of people probably don't read the release notes on that, and if they read the release notes, they'd probably not update. I don't think.
Yeah, Bruce Simpson. Bruce Simpson had a big thing about that today on his channel. Yeah. He knew that remote ID was coming. Everybody said he was crazy. He said he expects 1 million apologies by email.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody so passionate about what happens in a country that he doesn't like literally. I mean, it just absolutely tickles him to death. Like, to just work, like, honestly, like, get on with it now. I mean, I guess I'm like of the assumption that I just don't give a shit about what happens in other countries. Like I'm not to be an asshole, but I just don't give a fuck because it doesn't directly affect me. And if a remote ID is not directly affecting me, then I don't care. But if you know, it's whatever happens here in America, you know, somehow trickles down to other countries, then yeah, I get it. But beyond that, I don't get it.
Yeah. See, up here, there's no talk about remote ID. You know, I mean, we hear
maybe they got
in
it
the
down.
States.
Maybe they got it down pat. You know, in Canada, they just don't have to worry about it. You know, I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
I'm not worried. You know, and you know, to tell you the truth, I drive a car with a license plate on it.
yeah.
You know, and
I mean,
you know,
I guess there's some credence to like some people are worrying about it, but I just don't think there's a lot to really worry about in that regard. It sucks that they're doing it. It sucks that they're tracking. I mean, it's not gonna change me from flying a drone. I'm still gonna fly a drone. So who am I kidding if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stop flying my drone because there's this, you know, remote ID? I would be lying to myself if I said that. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing, and you know, when it gets to a certain point, maybe I'll stop.
You know, we all buy license plates and we all buy car insurance and we all follow all those rules. So like, I don't.
If you're flying by the rules, what's it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, to the same point, I understand like a lot of the guys that fly like FPV, for instance, there's some, you know, reasoning why maybe they don't want to, because I mean, it does limit you to an extent, right? It does limit you, and you know, I don't support the limiting factor and the fact that we really don't have any technology for those instances. That's I think that's the biggest problem. Is like, you know, what do you do for these FPV guys? You know, we don't really have anything like, where are you going to put that drone tag on there? That drone tag sucks. Like it's so freaking big.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to, how is that going to really play out? I mean, I don't know. So that's my biggest drawback on it, is that we just don't know enough about it to really, you know, not worry about it, I guess, if you're flying FPV. But for everybody else, I don't think it really matters.
No, it really doesn't. You know, like I fly commercially, but I don't. Well, I'm okay to fly. In fact, anybody in Canada can fly commercially. You don't have to have a Part 107. You can have a basic license, and away you go.
Yeah, I mean, the 107 in my eyes is a bit of a money grab. And I think, you know, it's so funny. I think they realized that it was a money grab. Like, it was a money grab, right? Let's be real. They charged you $150 for this 107 so you can be able to go out and make money with your drone. And then 2 years later, they reverse course on some things and they weren't charging you $150, because I paid $150 twice. $150 for my recurrent test, $150 to take the test. So, you know, like I'm out $300, and then like a couple years later, they're like, oh, you don't have to do that. And oh, by the way, you don't even have to go to a testing facility now to take your recurrent. So, you know, all that bullshit that they did, they just sort of walked back. And I'm like, I mean, I was sort of like, what the hell? Like, you know, so do I get my $150 back that I paid the first time? Like, can we at least get that back? At least that would be sweet. But you know, obviously it's going to go pound sand.
Ain't gonna happen. Nope.
But it was a money grab. It was a money grab, 100%. Like, I don't care what anybody says.
But it's worse up here, Ken. We've got to pay more, and we actually have to have a physical test to have an instructor come and witness and instruct us for that advanced test.
That is such an interesting thing that they have like an instructor, somebody that actually, you know, can understand, you know, what you're doing. I think that's sort of neat, but obviously scary in the same sense, because you got this guy like Jim. I mean, how hard would it be for you to piss this guy off? Not very hard. So, and like, you make him mad, and then all of a sudden now you're not getting your one. It's almost like a driving test. It was sort of favorable, you know. I
bought the guy a dozen donuts.
See, that's where I'm at. I'm all about bribery. I'm all about, I mean, I've watched Casino a few times, so I know how this shit works. So Yeah,
Well,
I'm with you there.
yeah, when I did my test, he came to my house,
Okay.
and I flew from my own yard, and he said, "Okay, well, there's a silo over there. How tall do you think that is?" I said, "It's 63 feet." I knew the area, and that tree there is 82 feet, and those power poles are 61 feet. Like I was able to describe the whole thing, and I'm 5.3 kilometers from the airport, so we're okay there.
Yeah.
And here's the airport's phone number, and here's the app that I use to contact the airport, and all this stuff. He was impressed. He said, "Yep, you're good to go." And he sent all the paperwork into Transport Canada, and there you go. I'm certified.
All that effort and all that time and all that money, and what does it do? It lets you fly closer to people.
Yeah. I can fly within 15 feet of people now.
Oh, wow. I mean,
Great.
the vast majority of people that are flying, we're not being reckless. I mean, I think anybody genuinely in the hobby, they're going to follow the rules. The people that are not going to follow the rules, even if you had rules, they're still not going to follow the rules. And those are the people that fall outside the lines of normalcy. Like, it's crazy. It's
Well,
crazy.
I was telling people that, okay, you've got this property that you want shot, but it's within the scope of the airport. I'm licensed to fly there, so this is what it's going to cost, right? And they didn't know it was illegal to fly there. But you got real estate agents who go out and buy a drone. They go out and buy a Mini or a Hubsan or some small drone, and they're doing their own real estate shoots wherever they like, because they don't know the rules. They don't know the rules. They're not good at it. You can see the footage on their listing, and it looks like crap.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole different battle. Like, I deal with that down here. Like, I'll quote somebody a price and they're like, I'll just go do it myself. And I'm like, all right, okay. What am I going to do? Like, and it looks like shit. It looks like Richard Pryor was on the sticks, it's like, I mean, I was just like, come on. I don't know.
I'm getting all kinds of questions here in the chat. What's the height of the church that used to be there? How tall is Kai?
Those were very Canadian questions.
Yeah, there you go. From Americans.
How about that?
How about that, eh?
Eh?
How about that?
Is it boot or boot? Like, how did that come about?
I don't know. You know what? Jim, do you know anybody who says a boot?
It's all slang. It all comes from the Newfies.
Is that what it? That way, like,
and they're not Canadian either, really. We come to them as foreigners.
But how do they fuck up about so bad? I don't understand.
Oh, I think it's a largely, it's a dialect that's largely Irish, I think.
Okay.
So it's, they've got that kind of Irish, I don't know, thing going on. But you go there. I was there in the summer, and it's like an entirely different language. You say, "How are you today? Good as the weather?"
Good as the what?
Good as the weather.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it all depends on the weather, then, I guess.
Like you're dark and cold,
You can't be doing that. I only got to the one hand.
Oh yeah, I only got to the one hand. I looked out in the backyard for my bicycle, and there it was, gone.
Lord, thunder, and Jesus thereby.
Yeah,
that's how they talk. They screw everything up.
I would not be a good Canadian with all these, all these different slangs. I'd be confused as the day is long. How was that? Did that work or no?
We go to Newfoundland and we're confused. You say, "Oh, it's a nice day," and they go, "Yeah, it's a good day on clothes." I said, "What's that again?" "It's a good day on clothes." Well, what that means is that it's sunny and windy, and it's a good day to put your laundry out on the line.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a good day on clothes.
See, I didn't take that. I didn't get that saying from that. I mean, that was the farthest thing from what I was thinking they were saying. I thought it was a good day to be wearing clothes.
When you order breakfast, you ask for 2 strips of bacon side by each and your eggs facing the sun.
So it's what, eggs in the bread? I mean, how's that? What?
Funny side up.
Side by
Okay.
each. Side by each
Okay.
by.
Lord of mercy.
But there's terms we have in Canada that you don't understand at all in the States, but to us they're common. What's a toque?
No idea.
See, like to us that's hilarious because hold on, I got one over here. I think
A toque is a knitted hat.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So put on me toque to keep me ears warm, bye. There.
Yeah, I don't have that here because I'm usually taking things off.
TMI.
I have a thong.
Who doesn't?
We get that.
I mean, you got that? I mean, you guys got at least that.
We understand that. You wear your thong when you sit on the Chesterfield.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't understand Chesterfield either.
I don't understand Chesterfield either.
Really?
No, that's beyond me, man.
Yeah.
That's a couch or a sofa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I call it a sofa or a love seat.
And I'm going out to get a 2-4.
What's that?
Because you probably have a 2-4.
You don't refer to a case of beer as a 2-4.
No, I call it a 6-pack or a gonna get fucked up tonight.
Oh, see, 6-pack is a poverty pack. You need to get a real job.
Yeah.
Well, here they have 16 packs, 16 or 24, depending on what you get. If you go Modelo, you're gonna get 24.
Well, you get 12 or a 2-4. You get a dozen or a 2-4, or you go to Timmy's and get a double.
Double. Well, double. I mean, depending on where you are, it could mean a couple of things.
What's it mean to you?
Well, that's a In-N-Out thing. You never heard of it? In-N-Out.
Yeah,
that's what we call beer stores.
Really? They call them In-N-Out?
well, yeah, because they got a sign that says in and they got a sign that says out. It's the In-N-Out store.
See, In-N-Out here is a fast food joint. That's all the rage here is their In-N-Out fast food.
Yes. Well, you see here, a double is a coffee with 2 creams and 2 sugars.
Okay. I see. I'm just a black coffee drinker. No, nothing in it.
Yeah. Well, extra large, just nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
Extra large black. Yeah.
Give me black water, please. Black water. That's all I want.
But a lot of the stuff we have is exactly the same as what you got there. We got Walmart, we got Costco, we got.
Who doesn't love a good Walmart?
We had Target.
We used to have Target, yes.
So what happened with Target? You don't have Target?
They went out of business.
They pulled out of Canada.
Really?
Yeah. Walmart ran them out of business. They ran them out of town.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to do.
What they lasted 18 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They bought another chain that was in Canada.
Okay.
And then rebranded and then left town.
Huh.
Yeah, no Target.
No Target. Well, sometimes how we say here, shit happens.
It sure does.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
So wow, you got a Canadian education.
Little bit. I think I'm ready to come to Canada now. We got everything we needed. Yeah. I got everything I needed to know now, so I can come out there.
Well,
Jim can show me around. We'll probably get arrested.
Keep your stick on the ice.
We drive on the same side of the street as you too, so
yeah,
it should be pretty easy for you.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The day, I wish I could tell that to my mailman. He still hasn't figured that shit out yet. He's on the wrong side of the road.
Nice.
So they can reach any mailbox.
Hey, we're coming up to the hour, because we have to give everybody an hour to get into their jammies for Ken Herron's show.
He was in the chat earlier today too. I don't know if you saw that, Gary, while you were talking.
On our show?
Yeah, he popped in for a little bit.
Yeah, what time is his show? His show's at what, 8 p.m. Eastern?
Yes.
All right, good. Now I
And
got to go
we're-
on doing like a news segment with them tonight. So I'll be,
Oh, are you?
yeah. So I'll be on his show for probably like me, I don't know, 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Well, you get more time than me then.
Well, I mean, let's be real though. I mean, if we gave you any more time, they'd probably ban the video in all, 48 lower states.
Wow.
Boshart will send me like TikToks. I'll watch TikTok. I'm like, what did he just say? Oh, have to watch that back 2 more times just to make sure I heard it correctly. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
well, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate you and your hospitality.
Well,
The backstage was wonderful. I loved all the cookies you provided.
yeah, that's good, eh?
Yeah.
We pulled
Those
the
are-
plates
those are
out before
Timbits.
we pulled all our plates out before we got here. What else did I not talk about? Social controversies. We got through that. 3D printing, Etsy store, 3D printers, drone retailer, drone works. Yep. Members only iPix photography. Oh, GoFundMe. Are you running a what are you running your GoFundMe about?
I don't have a GoFundMe. I
How
have no
come?
fucking GoFundMe. How come? Because I'm self-funded. I don't need a fucking GoFundMe every freaking week. These son of a bitches. No, I don't have I have no GoFundMes. No go.
We call it a go. We call it a go fuck me.
Yeah, well, if they had one of those, I mean, maybe if I get out of here in time, I could have a go fuck me. But not no, I've never once had a go fuck. I've had like, it was so funny. I had people like they knew, like friends from high school, like they're doing a GoFundMe. They're like, oh, you have a YouTube channel? Can you help me with my GoFundMe? And I straight to their face, just like this. Sorry, no, I don't do that. Just like that. I said I don't support that cause. Their house burned down.
Online. It's online panhandling.
Yeah, I just hate that. Like, but they're like, they want you to do this and that. I'm like, no, I don't like panhandling people like that. If you can't physically touch something I'm selling you, then that's panhandling.
Yeah.
That's panhandling.
Good stuff. I'm going to play the outro. I'm going to play the outro now, but you can stick around for the after show. We have a little party after.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go take a piss or.
Okay.
Oh, is that why you're a little antsy there?
Yeah. Well, I had a beer. You know what I mean?
I thought you're doing your Michael J. Fox imitation.
No, that's something else, man. But all right. Well, play the outro there, Gary, Mr. Brant Ariels.
If I can figure it out, I can never get this right, you know.
Well, it starts with pressing a button.
Okay, and you're in the outro this week.
Well, how about that?
There you go.
I'm almost scared to see what it's going to be.
Right.
And to everybody that showed up, thanks for showing up. Even though we didn't individually say hi to you this week.
No, and we didn't do our draw. We didn't do our draw either.
Did you individually invite them though?
Yeah, we do. Every week we're allowed to come back, and we just we're excited to get to your interview.
Okay, here's the outro. Everybody be quiet. Jeez. Thanks everybody for showing up. We had fun tonight.
special thanks to everybody that stuck around to the end of the show of the hour before TNL, all 2,417 of you.